Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well and that you guys aren't stressed out as I am with some of the classes getting a bit harder, especially when it comes down to the assignments. It's been a weird semester for all of us, especially with all the unfortunate situations that are going around out there, COVID being the big one. But I hope you're all doing good. I am pretty sure that I'm not the only one that can say is a bit stressed out when it comes to balancing either your work, social life, and your time being spent on school assignments and studying. It can get hectic, and some of us can get overwhelmed and feel the need to do something to take the edge off. Some people like to take a break, have a drink or two, or maybe even smoke. I would be lying to you if I told you I wouldn't do any of those things, especially after I would come home from an 8-hour shift and I would have multiple assignments from different classes. They would be waiting for me to work on right away if I wanted to stay on schedule. As bad as it sounds, after an hour or two working on my assignments, I would have a drink to relax, and maybe some of you do the same. But one thing I refuse to do to relax is smoke, because it does more harm than good. That is why I will be talking to you about how although smoking cigarettes can help some people relax, it will have negative effects on your health. Most people won't feel the effects right away, but in the long run, their health will deteriorate. Luckily, there are ways on how to quit smoking. I will start by talking about why people smoke and the benefits they get from it. Second, I will talk about the negative effects smoking will have on your health. And lastly, I will end with helpful tips to quit smoking and the benefits one will get from it. First, we should start on why do people have this sudden urge to smoke when they feel they're stressed out, and what happens while they're smoking to take the edge off. What is it that makes cigarettes have the effect that make people want to smoke? People feel like smoking a cigarette might relieve them of any tension that they are feeling, but according to an article published, Why People Smoke, Jarvis states that a plausible explanation for why smokers perceive cigarettes to be calming may come from a consideration of effects of nicotine withdrawal. Smokers start to experience impairment of mood, performance within hours of their last cigarette, and certainly overnight. These effects are completely alleviated by smoking a cigarette. Smokers go through this process thousands of times over the course of their smoking career, even if the effect is negative one, a withdrawal relief rather than an absolute improvement. When it comes down to what makes cigarettes have the effect towards people, Jarvis explains. Nicotine has pervasive effects on brain neurochemistry. It activates nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, which are widely distributed in the brain, and induces the release of dopamine in the nucleus accumbens. This effect is the same as that produced by other drugs of misuse, such as amphetamines and cocaine, and is thought to be a critical feature of brain addiction mechanisms. Second, we move on to what are some negative side effects in your health due to smoking cigarettes. According to the website Center for Disease Control Prevention, estimates show smoking increases the risk for coronary heart disease by 2 to 4 times, for for stroke by 2 to 4 times, of men developing lung cancer by 25 times, of women developing lung cancer by 25.7 times. Smoking causes diminished overall health, increased absenteeism from work, and increased healthcare utilization and costs. Smokers are at a great risk for diseases that affect the heart and the blood vessels, being cardiovascular disease. Smoking causes stroke and coronary heart disease, which are among the leading causes of death in the United States. Even people who smoke fewer than 5 cigarettes a day can have early signs of cardiovascular disease. Last but not least, we move on to helpful tips on how to quit smoking and the benefits of quitting. The CDC states keep your mouth busy. Chew a stick of gum instead of picking up a cigarette. Keep hard candy. Drink more water. Do something else. When a craving hits, stop what you're doing immediately and switch to doing something different. Simply changing your routine might help you shake off a craving. Quitting smoking cuts cardiovascular risk. Just 1 year after quitting smoking, your risk of a heart attack drops sharply. Within 2 to 5 years after quitting smoking, your risk for a stroke may reduce to about half of that of a non-smoker's. If you quit smoking, your risk of cancers of the mouth, throat, esophagus, and bladder drop by half within 5 years. 10 years after you quit smoking, your risk for dying from lung cancer drops by half. In conclusion, smoking cigarettes does give a sense of calmness to the smoker, but at the cost of their health. They are at more risk of getting negative side effects, but luckily there are some ways to help quit smoking. I talked about how nicotine withdrawal is the reason why people feel the need to smoke, the multiple diseases mostly related to the heart and the lungs that are linked to smoking, and I left off with helpful tips on how to quit smoking and how one can benefit from quitting. In all honesty, I really take this speech to heart because I used to be a regular smoker. I started off in my teen years, and I am glad to say that I quit smoking a while ago, which I thought was never going to be possible because I was so hooked on it. But I did it, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I haven't felt this great in years, and I will never go back. So, thank you for taking the time to watch my speech, and take care.